Hi, Jen here from Jen Michelle Coaching, and today I want to talk about 4 steps you can take that will lead you to a beautiful relationship. For those of you new to my channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe. I release a video weekly. This is really the goal, right, of love, connection, and intimacy, is to have a beautiful life and relationship, one filled with joy, ease, peace, and just experiences of a lifetime. How do we create that? This is not something that we're taught. And we end up just doing a bunch of different things and kind of seeing what sticks. And what if there was actually a way to intentionally create a beautiful relationship where we didn't just sort of hope that what we're thinking of doing is going to work, but we're actually really deliberately and intentionally building this within ourselves and within the man and the life that we want. So let's get started in diving into this subject. Number 1, the first step to creating a beautiful relationship is recognizing your inner critic, of course, because if we know that the inner critic is never going to speak in a kind or empowering way, we start to become better and better at filtering whatever that voice within us is trying to, advise around. We stop relying on it as a source of trust and truth. And we just see it as this critical part of ourselves. We can recognize it as our mom's voice, our dad's voice, our aunt's voice, our grandma's, but it's not really our voice. It's just something that was installed. And so if we can start to recognize the inner critic and really associate that with never getting something that is uplifting or solid, we start to be able to say, okay, I know you're trying to warn me, yet I'm going a different direction with this. So we are intentionally creating versus just falling prey to that negativity and that negative voice inside of each of us. Number 2, bring deeper awareness around your patterns and triggers, which is something I love to talk about, but just noticing the stuff within you that is surfacing and that isn't going to support you having a beautiful, loving, or connected relationship. This is about changing those patterns and instead saying, okay, what would help me have a beautiful, loving, and connected relationship? What would bring intimacy and passion into my life? What would support my partner cherishing, adoring, and really seeing me? And choosing from that menu versus the menu of falling prey to old triggers and behaviors that leave you just tripping over yourself and feeling a lot of regret. We want to just always be able to have the opportunity to take a step back and say, where can I choose differently? Where am I falling into some of the stuff that I relied on as a kid? Or where am I making something from the past his fault? Or where did I first feel this way? And is it right for me to bring this into this current situation or moment? And then you start to make better choices and you start to develop resiliency and willpower to say, I'm going to let these emotions pass before responding because there's a real opportunity for me to go a different direction in this moment. And then as you do this, you start to carve the path to building a beautiful relationship. Number 3. You make better and better choices and refine more and more over time. So as you learn to build this discipline and resiliency and consistency within yourself, your choices are going to be continuing to get better. You're going to feel more confident, more solid, and more secure in them. You're going to be able to have more emotional intelligence, more integration of being in body, because you're going to be able to have a stronger bandwidth of your ability to pause and feel your way through something before speaking. So over time, this leads to better and better choices, which leads to more and more emotional safety with a man, because men need to feel safe that you are a woman who can manage her emotions in order to open up to you. But if they feel like you're kind of this firecracker that's always going to go off at any moment, then they're going to be really guarded and very careful about what they reveal to you so that they don't feel responsible for your emotions and feel like they need to tiptoe around them as a result. So this is actually the most powerful practice in terms of letting a man open up and be vulnerable and feel safe around you is your ability to actually handle difficult emotions at a high level and not be perfect, but not be so like a loose cannon with them, because this is what, of course, puts up walls and makes a man kind of close up and lock himself off in that way. Number 4, aim high. Aim to be with a healthy man. If you didn't grow up with a secure attachment style, maybe you'll draw on a man that, has a secure attachment style, or who didn't grow up in the best way but is doing the work and who's willing to grow, expand, and know about himself. So aim to be with someone who wants to work on themselves and who wants to know more and do better and has that same curiosity and zest for life that you hold. So if you find yourself, drawing in men who just don't want to change or don't have any level of willingness or openness, as you grow and develop yourself, really ask yourself, what do I want and what do I believe I deserve? And where do I need to balance those two things a little bit differently as I change and evolve each day? And so I think that aiming high and really taking moments to self-reflect and see what you deserve and what that looks like to you, and to really embrace it, believe it, and embody it by celebrating all the ways in which you're learning and you're continually changing each day in your own life. Because I'm sure you have so many things to be proud of, but we tend to gloss over our own small victories, and we tend to stay stuck because we don't acknowledge that things have changed because of the work that we've done on ourselves. And so I think that when we choose to aim high, we're celebrating ourselves, and we're also putting out stronger possibility of what our life could look like and how we could have that relationship of our dreams. And we start to build that safety and that connection to move towards our dreams and to dream big. So I hope that these 4 tips, these 4 brief tips, are super helpful to you in your situation. I would love to hear from you. Any thoughts, feedback, or comments are always welcome. Please check out my site, JenMichelleCoaching.com. I have my blog as well as my free guide, Magnetic Sensitivity, as well as information on my Attract Him Forever group programming. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.